This is an Entry 3 Functional Skills Maths paper from NCFE. It's split into two parts. In the first part, you can't use a calculator, but you can in the second part. This is the first part. Activity 1. Getting a dog. Kylie wants a dog. Kylie researches dog breeds. She reads that there are 332 different breeds. Write 332 in words. So we're going to write 332. Kylie thinks about adopting a dog from a shelter. There were 644 dogs adopted in 2018. There were 486 dogs adopted in 2019. How many more dogs were adopted in 2018 than in 2019? So we've got 644. If we take away 486, it should give us how many more? So we need to take away 6 from the 4, which means we've got to borrow 1 from the 4 there. So this becomes 14. 14 take away 6 gives us 8. Now we've got 3 here, which we need to take 8 away from. So that means we need to borrow here. This becomes 5 and this becomes 13. So 13 take away 8 gives us 5. 5 take away 4 gives us 1. So 158. This graph shows the number of dogs adopted from the shelter each month. In how many months were there fewer dogs adopted than in March? Okay, so here we have March, and that's, if I just draw a line like this to help me decide, so only 2 months are under that, so January and February. Question is how many months? And we're just going to say 2. In how many months were there more than 200 dogs adopted? So where is 200? Let's find that. That's here. So more than 200. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kylie gets a dog from the shelter. She needs pet insurance for her dog. Kylie finds insurance for £16 a month. How much does this cost in total for 12 months? So we've got to multiply 16 by 12. 2 times 6 is 12, so 2 down and 1 is carried over. 2 times 1 is 2, and the 1, that is 3. Putting 0 down now, and we move on to the 1. So 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. So adding these together, 2 and 0 is 2. 3 and 6 is 9. 192. Kylie finds another insurance deal. She pays the monthly cost and she pays a deposit in the first month. Monthly cost is £14.65. Deposit is £12.50. How much does she pay in total in the first month? So in the first month, she's going to pay the deposit as well as the monthly cost. So that will be £12.50 and £14.65. So 5 and 0 gives us 5. 5 and 6 is 11, so 1 down and 1 carried over. 2 and 4 is 6, and the 1, that is 7. 1 and 1 is 2, so £27.15. Kylie gets a free name tag with her pet insurance. These are the shapes she can choose from. Which shape has right angles? Tick your answer. So right angles look like this. This shape has right angles, the rectangle, so shape B, and the rest of them don't have any. So only shape B should be ticked. This is the end of the first part. This is now the second part of the paper. From now on you can use a calculator. Activity 2, walking the dog. Kylie's dog is called Alfie. This is now the second part of the paper. From now on you can use a calculator. Activity 2, walking the dog. Kylie's dog is called Alfie. She takes him for a walk every day. Kylie takes Alfie for a walk in the woods. There are 4 paths in the woods. Kylie chooses the longest path. Which path does she choose? Tick your answer. So we've got 625 meters, 0.7 kilometers, 595 meters, 0.5 kilometers. The thing to remember is that in 1 kilometer there are 1000 meters. km. We use k to mean 1000 in everyday life, so that's what it means here as well. km, 1000 meters. So now 0.5 kilometers, that's half a kilometer. So that's going to be half of 1000, which is 500 meters. 0.7 is going to be 700 meters. So you can see the pattern. 0.5 was 500. 0.7 is going to be 700. So now we can easily compare them. Which one is the longest? 625, 700, 595, 500. So 700 is the biggest number, and that's the longest distance, the longest path. Kylie also walks in the park. She looks at this map of the park. What is the length of the park to the nearest division? So we've got that being between 1.7 and 1.8, and it seems to be closer to 1.7. And that is kilometers. Kylie gets to the park at 11:50 a.m. The walk in the park takes 40 minutes. Kylie wants to finish the walk by 12:25 p.m. Does she have enough time to finish the walk? Give a reason for your answer. So 11:50, and we're going to add to that 40 minutes. So if I break that down into 10 and 30, so if I add 10 minutes, it becomes 11:60, which practically isn't a particular time. That is 12 o'clock. So 12 p.m. And then if I add the 30 minutes, this becomes 12:30 p.m. She wants to finish the walk by 12:25, but that is not 12:25. That's 12:30, so 5 more minutes. Does she have enough time to finish the walk? We're going to say no. There is a shop in the southwest corner of the park. Where is the southwest corner? Tick your answer. So this is the north, this is the south, this is the west, and this is the east. We're looking for the southwest, so between south and west, that's here, so that is C. Kylie buys a drink from the shop. The drink costs £1.69. Round £1.69 to the nearest 10p. So when we round to the nearest 10p, our answer is going to be either £1.60 or £1.70. Now, which one is this closest to? That is closer to £1.70. So 1 pence difference from £1.69 to £1.70. Kylie has lunch after her walk. She has lunch between 1:30 and 2:30 in the afternoon. Which clock shows the time she has lunch? So between 1:30 and 2:30 in the afternoon. This is 1:40 a.m. So that's not in the afternoon, so it can't be. Looking at option B, we've got 1:35 p.m. That sounds like the right option because it's in the afternoon and it's between 1:30 and 2:30. Looking at option C, that's AM again, so it doesn't work. Looking at option D, that's PM, but it's 2:50, so it's past 2:30. So the only correct option is option B. On Saturday, there were 358 visitors in the park. On Sunday, there were 621 visitors in the park. How many visitors were in the park at the weekend in total? So 358 add 621. So you could use a calculator or do it by hand and then check it with a calculator. 8 and 1 is 9, 5 and 2 is 7, 3 and 6 is 9. So 979. Activity 3, the vet. Kylie takes Alfie to the vet. The vet checks Alfie's temperature. What is Alfie's temperature to the nearest unlabeled division? So unlabeled means that we haven't got these numbers given to us like we have for 40 and 38. So the nearest unlabeled division is this one for the temperature that's we've got here. So what is that in terms of temperature? So there we have 38 and 40. So halfway between the two will be 39. So between 39 now and 40 is going to be 39.5. So 39.5 degrees Celsius. Alfie gets weighed every time he goes to see the vet. Which is the heaviest weight? So we've got visit 1, 3.2 kilograms, visit 2, 3.21 kilograms, visit 3, 3.25 kilograms, visit 4, 3.09 kilograms. So first of all, we'll look at the first digit. That is 3 for all of them. So they all above 3 kilograms. So after that, we're going to check the second digit. So the one after the decimal point. So we have a 2 here, we have a 2 here, we have a 2 here, and we have a 0 there. So this is definitely the lowest. We're looking for the heaviest. So we'll now compare these three. So the second digit for these is 2. So now we're going to look at the third digit. So looking at this, it doesn't have a third digit, but we can add a 0 because it's after the decimal point. It's not going to make any difference. And looking at this one, that's a 1. So this is higher than the 0. Looking at this, this is 5. So this is definitely the heaviest weight, 3.25 kilograms. Alfie needs some medicine. Kylie gives him 1/5 of the tablets in this pack. Take 1/5 of the tablets. 1/5 means 1 out of 5, so I can see I've got 5 columns. So I can pick any of the 5, so that's 2 tablets. Any 2 would be fine. The vet writes down the weights of another dog over 5 weeks. The vet wants to show the results in a line graph. Complete the line graph. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that should be weeks. And then we've got weight in kilograms. So for week 1 that was 21.5. So between 20 and 22 will be 21, and then between 21 and 22 will be 21.5. Week 2 we've got 21. So there is week 2, 21, which sits between 20 and 22, halfway through. And then we've got 19.5. So that's going to be between 18 and 20. So this is 19. 19.5 will be here. Week 4, 20.5. So there is between 20 and 21. So 20.5 will be here. And 19.5. So we've got 19 here, so 19.5 will be right here. So joining these together, you can use a ruler to do that. In fact, it's a good idea to use a ruler when you do this on paper. Between which weeks did the dog's weight increase? So where do we have an increase? And that's this one here. That's an increase. So that's between week 3 and week 4. The vet has a list showing the numbers of animals seen over 3 months. She thinks the total number of animals is 789. The vet rounds each number to the nearest 100 to check her answer. Show how she does this check. So, 288. Our answer will be either 200 or 300. Which one is this closest to? 288 is very close to 300. So anything from 250 and above will be rounded to 300. Looking at 372, so that is between 300 and 400. Again, 372, that is more than 350, so that's going to be rounded to 400. 129, that is between 100 and 200. 29, so that is lower than 150. 129, that is. So we're going to round that to 100. So adding these together now, 300 and 400 and 100, all together we get 800, which again is very close to 789. 789, if it was rounded to the nearest hundred, it would be 800. Activity 4, the dog grooming salon. Carly takes Alfie to the dog grooming salon. Carly gets to the dog grooming salon at this time in the morning. Which digital clock shows this time? Take your answer. So, looking at the shorthand to tell us the hours, so that is past 9 o'clock, so 9 something. And that is very close to 25, but a bit less. So it's pointing out 23. 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 9:23. And that's in the morning. So 9:23, that is option A. Looking at this, this is 9:23, but that's in the evening. And looking at this, now this is 4:45. This is 11:09 at night. So option A is the only correct one. Stephen works at the dog grooming salon. He has this list of services to be done over 3 days. So we've got on Monday, full groom, full groom, full groom, nail clip, bath. Tuesday, bath, nail clip, full groom, bath. Wednesday, bath, nail clip, bath, bath, full groom, full groom. Complete the frequency table to show this information. So we've got different types of services. So like full groom, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. And then we've got nail clip. Got 1, 2, 3. Then we have bath. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's have a look. 7 and 3, that's 10. And the 6, 16. Is that 16 in total? Let's count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we must have completed this correctly. Stephen pours some water to wash Alfie. How much water is in the jug to the nearest labeled division? So labeled division, it's when we've got these numbers given to us, like 400 and 300. So this is sitting between 300 and 400, but it's much closer to 400. So we're going to say 400 milliliters. Stephen has 4 bottles of shampoo. He chooses the bottle that can hold the most. Which bottle does Stephen choose? Take your answer. So, we've got milliliters and liters. First thing to remember is that in 1 liter there are 1000 milliliters. So milliliters are tiny amounts. You need 1000 of them to make a liter. This is less than 1000, so less than a liter. This is 1.2 liters, so it's more than a liter. This is 2.1 liters, so this is more than 2 liters. This is 120 milliliters, so less than a liter. So we're focusing on these two. This is 1.2, so a bit over a liter. This is 2.1. This is a bit more than 2 litres. So C is the one that holds the most. Stephen turns Alfie so he can cut his hair. So we've got before turn and after turn. Which way does Stephen turn Alfie? Tick your answer. Is it half turn to the right? Well, half turn to the right, you'd be here, so looking this way with a head here. So that's not correct. Quarter turn to the right. So it's a quarter turn and this is the right. So that's the correct option. Looking at C, half turn to the left. Again, half turn to the left. Bring the dog over here with the head here. And finally, quarter turn to the left. So that would have been a quarter turn on this side. So B is the only correct option. Stephen checks the money in the till at the end of the day. There are 132 £1 coins. He puts the coins into piles of £20. How many more £1 coins are left over? So if there are 132 £1 coins, that means there are 132 pounds. And if he's putting them into piles of £20, what we can do is 132 divided by 20, which is 6.6. So 6 piles, £20 each, that is 120. So what do we have left after those 6 piles? So 132, take away the 120, gives us 12. So £12 coins will be left over. And this is the end of the paper.